Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So before we get started here on this chemical search, I think it's worthy to make a note. We made this point before, but uh, there's new viewers and it may have slipped. I know it slipped my mind, not completely, but just I had taken it for granted. Okay, um, with this, we run these forwards and we run them backwards through all these categories that we got, and we are absolutely not getting everything. Um, I'm sure there's categories we're not getting. I mean, I'm sure that this computer's running it through a host of categories. Um, we're getting a few of them, and also I'm certain that the computer would run these things forwards and backwards, and then they would mix these letters around in a million different ways and get a lot more. But you know, I'm not a computer, and you know, it would take an extraordinary amount of time to do all that. So we're just doing forwards and backwards and running them through the categories we got. And if anything else pops up in random hits consistently, we'll start another category. But the important thing is we're not getting everything. All right, that's the key. But I think we're getting. It's not. We're getting enough. But I just want to note that we're not getting it all because I'm not a computer and I don't have the time nor inclination to jumble these letters around in infinite ways, or however many ways they could do it. But I think we're getting enough. And now we're going to run the chemical search. We're going forwards. Oh, we got Guns N' Roses Better, and Broken Changed to Troubled, and Ever Changed to Never. For those that don't know, if you cross off this B because they're alike on each word of broken to troubled, cross off the R and the O and the E, you are left with KNTULD, and you bring that down, KNTULD, and then ever changed to never, and the ever is alike, so it crosses off, you're left with an N, you bring the N down. Those are your changes. Now, we've already gone through the stock market, we've gone through genetics, we've gone through medical, forwards and backwards, and now we're going to hit chemical. So, going forwards, if you get you got KNT, and KNT ends up being Dongying KNT Chemical Company Ltd, and it looks Chinese democracy. And this other Nanyang Technological University is also Chinese. In China, you had China stock holdings or something on the stock market. That's interesting. Well, let's take a look and see exactly. China Distance Education Holdings. Yep. So quite a few things China coming up here in Chinese democracy. Or the album Chinese Democracy. Guns N' Roses Better. The album is Chinese Democracy, right? KNT. So then if you go on from that, you got NTU, which once again, Nanyang Technological University School of Chemical and Biomedical Engineering. Oh, and by the way, we're here. We circled these guys because they're a chemical company. I don't think they're the ones. I think these guys are our culprit, but I don't know. So we circled them both. This one's been circled for a third time. or maybe even a fourth time. It comes up every time. Um, so anyway, but then if you can back that up, and you got K by itself is potassium on the periodic table of elements, N is nitrogen on the periodic table of elements, and U is uranium on the periodic table of elements, and U was also uranium holdings or something similar to that on the stock market, Uranium Participation Corporation. All right. So if you move on from that, you have TUL, which ends up being Institute of Applied Radiation Chemistry. TUL. It's an institute. So once again, they get a circle. We'll run the numbers against them later. You see the pattern emerging here? And, okay, yeah, I just put that note there. We're still going forwards. So then you got LD, and LD ends up being College of Engineering, Department of Chemical Engineering. And I got that up. Nitrogen, uranium, Institute of Applied Radiation Chemistry, LD College of Engineering. This is in India. I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to try, but this is in India. So, LD College of Engineering, Department of Chemical Engineering. All right. You move on from that, you have LDN, which ends up being LDN-193189 on Cayman Chemicals. And this ends up having to do with stem cells, but I'm going to provide this Cayman Chemicals link because this is a chemical search. But yeah, this ends up dealing with stem cells. And if you move on from that, also LDN, I should mention, also stands for low dose naltrexone. That came up again. It's a drug. Why wouldn't it? Came up in medical and it came up in chemical. And it came up in genetics, if I'm not mistaken. So this thing's come up a lot too. They're obviously calculating it a lot. And then if you take DN, the last two letters by themselves, you get DN Chemicals SRL. I'm not sure where it's at. DN Chemicals SRL? Huh. I'll bring it back up, guys. I must have accidentally closed it. Wait, DN right here. DN Chemicals SRL. There it is. I do have it. Not much to say about it. They're just a chemical place with 6 employees. They're not very big, but they're there. Oh, I should also mention, sorry guys about this, but we also circled this LD College of Engineering, and we circled DN Chemicals. Even though they're a small place, they might have a quantum computer. I don't think that that's the case in this case. I mean that they're using it. I think it's somebody else. But so we circled those guys, and that gets you through going forwards. Now coming back, excuse me one second, guys. All right, sorry about that. But now, so now if you start to come back, we've gone forwards. We got everything to go through forwards. And again, we're not getting everything. But if you start coming back, you start with NDL. And what you get there is Nuclear Defense Laboratory of the U.S. Army. Oh. Now, we've had Army and stuff before. Army stuff before, military stuff before. It's never come back to them using the quantum network for some reason. They're being calculated. But we circled them anyway. We'll see. Maybe this time they will be. If you move on from that, you got LUT. That is LUT University Chemical Engineering. And we circled them to check the numbers against them later. Even though I don't think they're the culprits. I think it's this Nanyang in China over here. But anyway, if you move on from that, you get UTN. And UTN ends up being, oh, there's the Army Nuclear Defense Laboratory Research, which is method of protecting troops from battlefield radiation, by the way. Oh, from radiation, yeah, I was going to mention that. And this other thing up here had to do with radiation, if you recall. Institute of Applied Radiation Chemistry. Nuclear Defense Laboratory Research's method of protecting troops from battlefield radiation. All right? Coincidence, right? No, this isn't a coincidence. But anyway, that LUT, University of Chemical Engineering, we have them circled. Check it. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to backtrack a little bit because I forgot to make that point. But UTN is Human Health Effects Score. I don't know why that is, but I'm going to read right off this scorecard, the Pollution of Information site. It says UTN Human Health Effects Scores indicate how a chemical compares with others in terms of its capability to harm human health. All right. So, ooh, I don't know if I like that. Somebody's calculating that. I don't know. I mean, that could be a good or a bad thing, right? But if you move on from that, you end up with UT, which ends up being Department of Chemistry of the University of Texas at Austin. And I had forgotten to do this. I think what happened was I started watching Blaze's live stream and then just kind of, at that time, kind of spaced my search. But, yeah. Well, we have them circled as well. So we'll check the numbers against them later. And if you move on from that, you end up with TNK, which ends up being TNK Incorporated Chemical Products. So it's a place they sell chemical products, it looks like, or produce. Let's take a look. I don't know. We handle a variety of chemical products such as anti-rust or antiseptic agents for the prevention, protection of metallic products as well as bonds for multi-purposes. All right, that's them. And you know what? It's going to create more work later, but I suppose, to be fair, we better circle them. You never know. So we'll run the numbers against these guys later as well. And that gets you through going forwards and backwards in chemicals. Now, I think we were running the periodic table by itself and just seeing what was there and what wasn't there. They didn't always necessarily go through on some of these longer ones where we had, like the Bible, where we had like a page of like a whole line and a half or 2.5 lines or something that changes. I think we ran a category by itself because it would have been crazy to run them with the chemicals. But, and this one was so short, I just decided to lump it all together like we used to do. So, but that's it. I've ran this longer than I wanted to. But I wanted to make those points. There's no way we're getting everything with all this. All right? A computer just has way more capacity than we have. And that's it. So, um, let's see. I think research groups is next. We do research groups and then technology, if I'm not mistaken, and then some random hits. Maybe I'm missing a category, but we'll find out. But for now, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. And thanks for watching. And we'll get the research groups out and the technology, and then we'll start on numbers. I don't know when that'll all happen, but anyway, um, we're going to get what we can. I swear there was another point I wanted to make, but I can't. Not. It's eluding me right now. Maybe it was the Army thing. I don't. But anyway, oh, it was the Army thing. Yeah, I wanted to make the point of that Army radiation thing. So that's what it was. All right. So for now, guys, you guys have a great rest of your day.